Okay, so hello and welcome to another any percent race between CheeseJamez and Dogecyanide in round 2 of the Speedrun tournament. Dogecyanide with a slighted over CheeseJamez with 2.5 minute PB. So he will CheeseJamez saying before the race he might be a bit rusty. So we should be getting going any second. Okay, and they're both off. First up, Cap Kingdom. Not going to be too much to talk about here, but it will show early on who could take the lead. Okay, and no issues starting for either of them. Good, both up to the first cutscene. Doge having a little issue getting to the second bridge, but nothing major. Okay, so we get to the spin power before that bridge. Both capturing the frog around the same time. Okay, Doge just getting to that door a slight bit earlier. Doge going for the left side, as does CheeseJamez. CheeseJamez goes for the vault. Doge gets his left side, and so does CheeseJamez. Very good from both. No issues with the first round of topper. Doge getting the second phase of fast topper, and CheeseJamez just finish him off. So that's a good Cap Kingdom from both. It looks like Doge will be coming out with maybe a high 20, low 21, and CheeseJamez not too far behind. Okay, so on to Cascade. A bit more to this kingdom than Cap Kingdom. You've got Dino Skip. Potentially Chest Cliff, though I don't believe either runner goes for that. Okay, so Doge coming up to the jump. No issue capturing, either with CheeseJamez. And onto the first moon. Doge still maintaining a short lead early on. Both on to the first cutscene with the Odyssey. So we're coming up to the first sort of major trick in the game, Dino. So we'll just see if both runners are able to get it. Doge looks good, as does CheeseJamez. Okay, just picking up some coins to make sure they've got enough for that shop moon in Wooded that they'll be getting later. Ooh, Doge missed one of the phases of the fight, which gives CheeseJamez the opportunity to take the lead, which he does. And then Doge just finishing off Madam Brood there. Not a major mistake, but it does give CheeseJamez a few second advantage. Doge not looking happy and shaking the camera. I think that's a 5-second advantage for CheeseJamez. Hello, Puncher. Okay, so they've got one more moon left to get, which I assume both will go for the moon up where CheeseJamez is going now. Nope. Doge is trying something of a chest clip, which I believe he may have lost time from doing that. Yeah, now he definitely has lost time from doing that. Nice effort, nice effort. CheeseJamez 104. He said before the race he hasn't run the game in 3 days and he's a bit tired of any percent. He's not showing any sign of rustiness early on. He's actually playing pretty well. So we're coming up to Sand Kingdom now. The first sort of kingdom which may throw a few hurdles up that they might struggle with. Both runners doing DSTA, which involves using daylight savings to grow a seed faster. So CheeseJamez first into the kingdom. So we'll see how his town movement goes. Rolling down. And he gets the seed into the pot. Oh, and he's using the flower to get onto the roof. And he gets the bird moon first. And then gets into the tower. Very nice movement. Then rolls straight into the pipe. Doge getting the bird. And into the pipe as well. Both no issues with Rumble Room. It's time to get the seed. CheeseJamez gets it relatively. See what Doge does. And very smooth. Yeah, CheeseJamez is playing well for being rusty. Very impressive. So they're coming up to a hidden moon, which they have to ground pound on the top of this hill, which can be a bit tricky at times. If you miss it once, you might miss it 5 times. CheeseJamez, no issues, straight away. Very good. And Doge, also, first time. Okay, so we're coming up to another trick now, called Dram. So we'll see if CheeseJamez gets that one first. Involves holding up to capture a bullet bill just after you get a move to get up onto the next ledge to get a crate move. Oh, CheeseJamez captures it a bit early, so he did not get it the intended way. Doge taking damage from the yellow Goombas there, so he may struggle getting this. The moving platform may block Cappy from getting the bullet. CheeseJamez having a nice climb back up, nice back up. And he's still maintaining a lead of about 4 seconds. I didn't see that then. Did Doge do single bill? Because he's taken the lead from it. I think he might have done. He has been doing that lately. Okay, so Doge now in the lead. By around 2 seconds. Very close early on. Okay, so coming up to Jaxie's skip. If this one's failed, this is a major time loss. Doge getting it fine, as does CheeseJamez. Okay, both getting off there with no issues as well. Coming up to the last few moons in Sand Kingdom now. Doge did do single wheel, I thought he might have done. I'm getting a bit of buffering on my side, so I'm not seeing every... Okay, so coming up to the final 2 moons. Doge still... both took 2 times to ground pound that moon now. And we're coming up to Notes. Doge getting it clean enough with 2 throws, as does CheeseJamez. That's a fairly nice Sand Kingdom from both. And still very, very close. Yeah, Doge does go for nut clip. I'm not sure if CheeseJamez does. He may do. Okay, so next up is Lake Kingdom. Very short kingdom, but there is a trick in it called Lake Clip, which can save, I believe, about 6-7 seconds. Doge does go for this, and I wouldn't have thought CheeseJamez would, but we'll see. Doge starting off well, getting the zip. CheeseJamez following up. That zipper can be a pain. Cappy can sometimes decide not to home in. Both get the zipper, no problems. Doge now, late clip, gets it fairly quickly. And yeah, no issues, gets the checkpoint, very good. CheeseJamez opting not to do that. It can be a bit of a finicky trick and can lose you a lot of time if you spend too long trying to get the actual clip. I have no idea what Sandex was. He may be able to tell you. Like it. Okay, so Doge coming down now, using the Joy-Con to get a down throw, which the Pro Controller cannot do. So he gets that fish, gets the moon, and then we'll switch back to the Pro Controller. Very smooth so far from Doge with the late clip. CheeseJamez now going up to have a visit from Rango. Not a particularly difficult boss, you've just got to time some backflips to land on his hat, cut out the bouncing phase, and then give him a bonk of damage. One more and he should be good. And yeah. So very good Lake Kingdom from CheeseJamez and from Doge. Doge will save a bit of time here though from doing late clip. He doesn't Joy-Con main, he just uses it for the down throw on that instead of the ground pound, as he finds it easy. Okay, so we'll have a little update on how far apart the runners are at this stage. Still not much. A major mistake, missing up clip could make all the difference in the next kingdom. So Doge closing out with a 1346 lake, which is very good. And CheeseJamez coming out. roughly about 10, 11 seconds behind, so still a very, very close race. CheeseJamez not showing any of that rust. Okay, so we're into Wooded Kingdom now, another quite technical kingdom with a trick called Nut, which can save up to, I believe, 30 seconds if done right. Doge getting the rabbit there with the rock. Very nice. And then taking that move. Now the coins they were collecting from Adam Rude earlier were for this shop. So Doge has enough, as does CheeseJamez. Okay, now Doge is going to be the first one to be going for. Doge taking a bonk there on the... I believe he's just started to do tree route, which he's opted in to do now. Takes another bonk, which is going to cost him a little... Nothing too bad at this stage. CheeseJamez opting to go for this route, which will mean he will get the Piranha Moon later on, which is slightly slower than the tree route. Okay, so CheeseJamez, can't see that. Did he get it? He did not get Nut Clip. So if Doge gets this, he could be taking a bit more of an advantage. And Doge not getting it either. Both runners not getting Nut Clip. They both have and do pipes early to make up for those 2 moons they're going to miss through Nut Clip. Which also means there will not be a speedless route. Okay, so CheeseJamez in the main first. In the maze first. But he is 1 moon behind, as Doge did go for the tree route. CheeseJamez with a nice roll cancel off and into pipes. This can be quite a tricky area if you mess up the pattern. If you're a bit late, you can take damage and it can be quite a bit slower. Okay, so CheeseJamez gets the first moon. Doge not far behind. CheeseJamez, very nice. I've not seen that route before. Doge coming up to the tree route, missing. Oh, he decides to get the Piranha. Oosh. So he might still be doing the speedless. Doge and CheeseJamez both missing up quick. Doge taking damage. Okay, so Doge going for roll cancel Spiral Road Skip. He misses it. So he's now going for a dive vault. CheeseJamez also. Doge getting it quite quickly after. CheeseJamez then getting another quick. Oh! Doge missing the second part of Flower Road Skip. And both get that moving around the same time. Okay, so both runners quite close. I've just noticed CheeseJamez's time is a bit behind Doge's. So CheeseJamez is actually in the lead. Oh, Doge missing getting up with that up route twice. CheeseJamez getting that moon at the top of the tower with no problem. Doge eventually getting up there. Not too much of an issue. CheeseJamez is actually in, well, it looked tight. CheeseJamez is actually in the lead a little bit because his time was a bit delayed from Doge's, or Doge was delayed from Cheese. I can't England very well. Okay, so both on Spew. CheeseJamez finishing up Spew, very nice. Doge not too far behind. Okay, both runners are both synced back up now. So we'll be able to how far apart they are at the end of Wooded Kingdom. CheeseJamez leaving Wooded Kingdom ahead. So we'll see just about how much he is ahead now. So CheeseJamez on 2013. A fine year. And Doge coming out with, looks like a 2024, so 11 seconds. Now we're on to Cloud Kingdom, the first encounter with Bowser. Both runners, I'm sure, will be going for the fast hats in this. So CheeseJamez first one to arrive. Gets a nice jump over to the main arena. And goes for the first round and gets the hat nicely. Doge second in. Getting that cutscene skip. And it's froze. There we go. And Doge gets it. And also sends him 2 platforms away, which means he only has to jump 1 to the left, which will be a bit of a time save over CheeseJamez, I believe. Okay, so CheeseJamez on the last phase now. Gets a tail swipe and finishes the fight very good. Doge now on the last phase as well, so still a very, very close race this far in. And CheeseJamez closing out Cloud. Okay, so we're into Lost Kingdom, which is quite a scary kingdom. Any falls off the edge can put you in the poison, which can be quite a hefty time loss. CheeseJamez going for Meme Tree. And I didn't actually see that. I'm assuming he went for the lower platform. Those now going for Meme Tree as well, getting the higher platform, both making their way over to the first moon, which they need to ground. CheeseJamez now over to the butterfly, gets that with no issues. Doge next up to the butterfly, and CheeseJamez making his way down to the propeller platforms, where there is another ground pound moon, which he gets with no problems. Doge following not far behind. CheeseJamez getting the moon in the tree. I have no idea what any of these moons are called, so I'm making up my own name. CheeseJamez going over to get Stair Moon. He gets Stair Moon. Doge having a bit of trouble getting across there, but not much. No major time loss. Gets a roll cancel and gets that moon. CheeseJamez taking damage off the Trebeetle to open that rock. Doge opening it without taking damage, so we'll save a bit of time there. CheeseJamez not going for Cage Triple. I believe Doge will. And he gets it. CheeseJamez going for the Cage Moon, a safer option. Both get that moon under the bridge around the same time. CheeseJamez taking a death, as does Doge. So not saving any time from getting out from there. CheeseJamez doing an optimal spin throw there, and like I think it did give Doge a tiny lead. Okay, so both closing out, lost at Doge with a 24-12, and then it froze, so I didn't see CheeseJamez. I'm assuming just behind, roughly about the same, 13-12. So moving on to Night Metro, which can also be quite a scary kingdom. Quite a few mistakes here could give you quite a hefty time loss, falling in Town Hall, 3 round on the Wiggler, taking a death on the start. Let's see how it goes. Doge making his way over to the pylon, as does CheeseJamez. But they are playing the same lead. Okay, both get the pylon with no issues. Doge coming up to the first jump. Gets it with no issues. CheeseJamez not far behind. Oh, takes a bonk. Unfortunate time loss, but not too bad. Not the worst mistake you can make in Night Metro. He gets up there second try, very good. Doge going for this Goomba bounce. Very nice, gets it. Ooh, CheeseJamez taking another bonk and a fall. Still not a death, so not the worst that could happen. But I believe this is the biggest gap we've had in this run so far, which is good for both runners. Both have done very... Doge missing the first jump in City Hall. And then struggling to get up there still, so CheeseJamez can make a bit of that time back that he lost early on. Doge opting to take the lift on the right side, just to make sure he gets up there. It can be a bit tricky to back up if you mess up getting up onto that first platform. CheeseJamez coming in now. No issues getting up there, very nice. So he has made a bit of time back up. Going for a jump on the left. Ooh. And then he gets the chest move. Doge now making his way up to Mecha Wiggler. Am I coughing? I am not coughing. Okay, Doge capturing the tank and missing a few shots on the first round. CheeseJamez now making his way up to Mecha Wiggler. Going into the fight. If he gets this first round quickly, he could make some time up on Doge. Which he does get very nicely. Both runners done with the first phase. Okay, so now they need to just wait for the Wiggler to come back out onto the wall that Dogecyanide is now waiting for. They'll shoot a few of these fireballs, and then wait for the Wiggler to become vulnerable again. Doge with a very good second round. CheeseJamez now coming. He gets the back end of the Wiggler first, and the front is coming behind. If that makes sense. Probably not. CheeseJamez gets it. Not too far off. Okay, so this might be the biggest gap between the runners this far in the run. It's been a very close race. So Doge closing out with a 27-50. And CheeseJamez not too far behind, both on the same cutscene. CheeseJamez with a 28.05. Okay, and now we're on to the Day Metro portion of the run. First trick to do is to go into this girder and get a dram onto the pylon. Doge looks like he got it. Oh, no. Okay, so Doge might lose a bit of time there if CheeseJamez gets this. Doge, I believe, goes for scoop clip. CheeseJamez, I'm not sure. Scoop clip, so CheeseJamez could catch quite a bit of time up here. Doge getting it second time around with a nice backup. CheeseJamez going and gets it nicely. Doge now going up, trying to get the move in between these garbage bags and home into that. whatever the hell it is. And he gets it. Gets the bench friend. A very wholesome moon. CheeseJamez unfortunately landing on the back of the bench and getting stunned by London. Quite unlucky with that. Doge, I'm not sure, but he may go for bullet building. And he's going for the slots first, so he does go for bullet building. So there is a little bit of a route variation here. Doge missing the first slot, so he'll give it another go. This is the only attempt he can have, and he misses it again, so he's going to have to give up on that. CheeseJamez going for... I have no idea what these are called. I can't see. Yeah, he gets that movement, no problem. Doge now having to go for musicians. CheeseJamez second. Having a little bit of trouble getting to the top of that tower. There is a moon waiting for him. Okay, so Doge making his way over to the second musician. CheeseJamez getting the moon above the pool. And getting that hint out so he has enough money for the shot moon in snow. Getting that ground pound moon second try. And then he will be going to Pete, which Doge will be doing last. Doge now going up to do the route that CheeseJamez has just done. You're going to do the musicians as Doge makes his way over to the people's room, starting with this tower. Very nice climb. Oh, nearly misses that moon. Doge now getting that. Very nice getting that moon from quite high up with the ground. Doge now entering people's room, which will be the last room before he walks back to the Odyssey. CheeseJamez getting the last musician. So still a pretty close race. And CheeseJamez may be on gold pace for this day. Metro has been very good. Okay, and we're just going to have a quick fix of the streams to sort out the audio desync that you've been hearing. So hopefully that won't be too long, and then we'll be back with the runners. So a nice Metro from CheeseJamez. Doge, unfortunately, not having enough coins to have another attempt at the slots moon, so he had to revert back to the musicians, which I'm sure he'll be very disappointed about. Yeah, it will be very, very close coming out of this. I'm going into Snow Kingdom. I know Doge does Snowdram. I'm not sure about CheeseJamez. But this has been a very, very, very close, good race so far. And CheeseJamez actually on 105 pace. Okay, so the stream should be sorted out in just a sec. I'm going to take this opportunity to go to the toilet. Okay, so both runners are back. Doge in the blowy jury room. CheeseJamez, I'm assuming, went to the shop first, so no snowdram from him. Doge clearing all the spinies up to get that last moon. That looks quite a close dive, but he gets it with no issues. CheeseJamez now making his way into the same room. Starting off with a spin pound to try and make this cycle. Oh, and he goes for a spin pound there. Very nice. Not seen that before. That's very nice movement. Nice way to make it up there. Doge making his way over to the Goomba room, which can be tricky at times. Sometimes the third Goomba will decide he no longer likes living up there and will jump down. Doge will not have that problem as he captured it early. Doge getting the first moon from Goomba room. And he'll now try a roll cancel into a triple jump to get across the gap, which he gets. CheeseJamez leaving the blowy jury room to make his way over to the same room. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, so CheeseJamez getting the first two Goombas. Opting to get the furthest one first, and then the last one. He took some damage there, I didn't see where. Goes now into the shot me before he goes for Snowdram. Yeah, Doge is going for... CheeseJamez going for a safer option of a long jump. And gets the moon. And CheeseJamez will be going to Ranga to get the one moon he needs. Doge will be doing Snowdram. Doge on for the first attempt and gets it with no problems. Very nice Snowdram. CheeseJamez making his way over to the Goomba room. Ranga room. So many rooms. Okay, so there is a bit of a gap coming out of this kingdom now. More than there was out of Metro, where they were virtually tied. Doge out with a 37-36. It looks like CheeseJamez will be about 30 seconds behind. Okay, so on to the next kingdom, which is Seaside. Bit of difficult movement on the shore foot at the beginning. Doge going for a spin pound into a triple, which he gets very nice. And making his way into the pipe. Again, another moon, he needs a ground pound. Taking a bit of time to make sure he gets that one. No game audio. Shall I make the noises? Wee-hoo! Unfortunately, I have a deep voice and going high doesn't work. Okay. So CheeseJamez making his way up to the first moon and gets it very nicely. Doge into the 2D, 3D room. CheeseJamez getting the pike moon very nicely. Doge capturing the fish, which you'll now be in for the rest of the run up until the very last moon. So Doge actually struggled with that a 2D, 3D moon. Didn't quite sit. I think it just froze me a little bit at that point. Doge getting the chest moon with the cheap, and then making his way through this little cave. CheeseJamez now capturing the fish. Okay, Doge makes his way up. Get a moon, you need to do a spin thing type deal. And then he gets the moon on the dory and makes his way over here, where he needs to do more spin type things to get a moon from a fourth spin type thing. There we go. Now Doge going to do fish clip, probably one of the easiest clips in the game. Oh, struggles to get the cap to lock on. What gets it the second try? Oh, misses the moon. You need to be careful with that moon. You can clip back in bounds, which can lose you quite a bit of time, as you'd have to go to the Sphinx and answer a question. Doge getting the last moon and walking back to the Odyssey. Very nice. CheeseJamez now going for fish clip and gets it. Very nice. So still not too much in this race between both of them. CheeseJamez missing the out of bounds moon. Still getting it and staying out of bounds. Very nice. So any major mistake could call this one. CheeseJamez making his way into the last room. And walking back to the Odyssey. Doge now making his way over to Luncheon, which CheeseJamez will be shortly after, which can be a very, very tricky kingdom. A lot of hard movement, depending on what you go for. And can kill PB runs very easily. So we'll see how Doge starts off. I believe he'll start off with a salt triple. To the left, but he's still pulled it off very nicely. Oh, missed that moon a little bit, but nothing made. You didn't think he'd do fish clip. Wonderful. Anyway, Doge now making his way to the last moon before Speedy. When I learn how to speak, it'll be a good day. And into the fight, CheeseJamez entering the kingdom now. See if he'll go for salt triple. And no, choosing the safer option. And very nicely gets it. Doge finishing up with Spewitt, as CheeseJamez just gets the last moon leading up to it. Doge getting that moon at 42, 46. So we'll see how far CheeseJamez is behind at that point. Doge going to be making his way down to a sub room to get a moon. CheeseJamez just finishing up this fight very nicely. Doge taking some damage in there on the way out. So CheeseJamez with a 43, 22, I think. If I can math. I believe that's about a 40-second difference. So Doge making his way over to a crate moon now, which you get a triple jump, wall jump, and see if he gets it. And he does. Very nice. CheeseJamez in that sub room now where Doge took damage just a second ago. See if you can make up a bit of time here. Very nice. Doesn't take damage. Doge getting that golden turnip and one for spare in case he runs out of turnip soup. Ooh, CheeseJamez running low on life there with 1 health left. Needs to be careful. Both getting a hidden moon around the same time. Doge further ahead with the one on the pillar. CheeseJamez will now be making his way down to the crate moon, which we saw Doge get not too long ago. Doge going to be capturing this Podoboo and then going over to Fork's room, which a death here could be quite costly. So we'll see how he does. Yeah, CheeseJamez on very good pace. Considering he said he hadn't played for 3 days, he's doing very well. Oh, Doge having a bit of trouble with the fork, but a nice backup with that up throw. Very nice. And making his way over to that last move. So very minimal issues with that room. CheeseJamez just make shortly after we get to this moon and one more. Doge now leaving the fork room. And he's going to have to do quite what can be a tricky jump. And he gets it. Very nice. It can be quite a tight jump, that one, and can give you a bit of trouble. Doge making his way up to that moon, and then he'll be going down to capture a Pambro to get the cheese moon. CheeseJamez making his way through the forks room. And he goes to that fork and gets the moon. Very nice. Doge pulling the lever and then capturing the Pambro once again. And then getting the moon. CheeseJamez leaving the forks room, gonna catch the Podoboo and do the same jump. See how he does. And he gets it very nice. Oh, just avoiding that Goomba with a backflip. Oh, very nice way up there. I've not seen that. Doge coming up to the final section of luncheon, lighting that torch. He's going to be throwing the cap to get a vault into a triple jump to get the moon behind the mountain. CheeseJamez having a bit of trouble with that lever, but eventually gets it. Oh, I didn't see what happened with Doge, but the stream froze me then, did he? So Doge getting the multi-moon there to finish up lunch, and CheeseJamez coming over. Just missing that Podoboo, not a major mistake. And will then light the torch. The hammer might be a bit tricky to get to. So he just runs into it. Very nice. And he gets enough height to get over that. And to the moon behind the mountain. As Doge finishes up lunching. So I believe the gap was about 40 seconds by Spewer, by the moon grab. So we'll see if there's been an increase in that. Or if CheeseJamez has closed it. Doge with a 41.52 luncheon. CheeseJamez learning on the job. So I believe CheeseJamez has lost a bit of time since that Spirit Moon. But still having a very, very good run. Slower cutscene skip after Cheese Moon changed the Podoboo spawn high. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So Doge now in the most exciting kingdom of the game. Ruined. Gets the hint out for good luck. And takes damage. Fortunately, that will not kill his run. But it was close. So as CheeseJamez enters Ruined, Doge getting his way through this fight now, onto the second phase. CheeseJamez making his way up to the pylon to get him to the fight. Doge on 1 health now. Can be risky, but gets through it with no problems. Usually not too much of an issue. It can cause you to take a death if you're very, very unfortunate. Ooh, Doge taking another bit of damage there. He should be fine, but it is a bit scary. CheeseJamez finishing up with the first phase. Very nice. And Doge finishing up. So he did not take it. Very, very scary being up there with 1 health, but I don't think it's too much of a risk. Okay, Doge collecting that multi-moon as CheeseJamez moves on to the second phase of this fight. And Doge finishing up by getting that on the globe as CheeseJamez comes into the final phase. Should have no issues. The time difference, we'll find out now. So Doge closing up with a 51-13. And we'll just wait for CheeseJamez. Doge is now making his way to Bowser Kingdom. Quite a few technical things in this which could trip you up. The first half being the brutal split. Doge, I do believe, goes for Bird Drum. I don't know why I said do believe. I know he goes for it because I race it every day. But still, he may go for Bird Drum. So CheeseJamez is closing up Ruin now, so we'll have a rough idea of how far apart they are. Doge getting Bird Drum, very nice. Capturing that pylon to make his way over to the Ogre. And CheeseJamez closing out with a 52.07. Was Doge a 13, so he's roughly a minute ahead if he getting the Ogre. No bonks. I'm not sure if CheeseJamez is still on 105 pace or not. Okay, so CheeseJamez making his way through the first part of Bowser Kingdom. See if he does Bird Drumming. Capture the bird. He does do Bird Drum, so he's making his way up. Jumping out of the bird. Getting the moon. And getting Bird Drum, very nice. Doge making his way up to shards. Onto those roofs, very nice. CheeseJamez making his way over to the Ogre. I've not seen anyone make it that way up. But still makes it, and very nice. Gets the Ogre very quickly. Doge onto his last shard now, breaking the hat and diving away. You can still sub 106. The matchups are bad because they're early on. It's done over PBs, so you'll see in the next round and further on that the PBs will be quite a bit close. But it's how seeding works. Okay, so CheeseJamez making his way over to the shards, which we just saw Doge complete as he makes his way. Oh, he's doing Bowser Drum. Very nice. I think he got that. And he does, yes. Very, very good. CheeseJamez making his way onto the roof as Doge makes his way over to the Brutals fight. And I'm sure he'll do Topper first because he sees sense. Wonderful. the first few rounds of a tournament where like anyone, you're gonna see some big mismatches, and then it'll come narrower and narrower, and you'll get closer races. But this is still a pretty close race, considering the PB difference. CheeseJamez has only been falling away a little bit sort of later on in the run. For the first 20, 30 minutes, it was a very, very close run. And coming out of Metro Kingdom, they were very close. So Doge now onto the Harriet fight. As CheeseJamez makes his way over to the Broodals. We'll see which one he does first. Yeah, topper first is the one that matters. Let's see if CheeseJamez agrees. Oh, Doge messing up a phase of the Harriet fight. But finishing up with no issues. Bonking on the topper, but absolutely no problems. Because he went for topper first. Just missing that hat, but get a very quick back up to a fly. Oh, and he misses it for the second time. Doge will now be making his way to the mech. He did bird drum, so he will not be doing the moon behind the crates and the blind, which can be quite. CheeseJamez will now be making. I have got some mad speed up. But you know, which if you got the crate moon, you'd have to do it with a very difficult camera. After goes on to Met. And makes it up with no issues on his way up. Fighting Bowser Kingdom. CheeseJamez having a little bit of trouble as Doge does the climb up. Takes a bit of time to get Rango, but no problem. He'll now be going for topper on the back. Very nice. And now he'll make his way up as the mech face plants its way into an invisible wall. CheeseJamez now collecting his. Doge is a well-known splicer. That's the problem. Okay, so Doge will be doing target acquired. So we'll see if he gets that. If he doesn't, CheeseJamez can make up a bit of time there. Looks good. And he gets it. Very, very nice. Doge done with Bowser Kingdom. He'll just sit through a bit of cutscenes, collect a moon, and then make his way to a very big moon. CheeseJamez making his way across. Doing a bit of a safer route than Doge did, but still making it all the same. Making sure he doesn't take a death there. Very good choice. And now he will be doing his climb up to the mech that Doge did before. Having it with the bird there, I think it might have been too low to fling down or fling up or do the things. Doge flashing his sobbing chat there. Yeah, Doge having a very, very good Bowser's. Oh, CheeseJamez struggling with the climb. See if he can get it second time. That rhymed. And he needs to get up there quick before it kicks him off. And he gets it very nice. So Doge wrapping up Bowser's with a something as CheeseJamez goes to the back and gets topper. Very nice. So a 59.01 for Doge at the end there as CheeseJamez comes into the final two bubbles on the mech fight. James going for it. And it looks Looks like he's going to be waiting for the... Oh, no. He gets it after the... Very nice. Oh, takes an unfortunate fall there, which is going to cost him quite a bit of time. As Doge comes into Moon to do the first 3 jump. Just landing a bit short, so he's had to die there. Rock and roll. CheeseJamez taking a bit of damage on mech. Cap and makes his way up to the final bubble and finishes up. Doge getting the 2 fire flowers to carry him over to Moon Cave skip. Okay, so he's going to jump up. Has to ground pound in front as he falls a bit short. Won't cost him too much. And he fails it first time, may have been a bit too far left. Gets it second try, no problem. Very quick to get it the second. And a nice dive over. Quite a scary jump, that one, if you're on PB pace. So Doge making his way into the church to crash the wedding and ruin everyone's day. And he's going to steal Bowser's hat and punch him in the face with it. Okay, so Doge coming into this Bowser's fight now. Yeah, we got the hat because it froze, but he got it. Up in Bowser Kingdom. CheeseJamez not enjoying his Bowser Kingdom. But he's the later game ones tend to be the ones you'd struggle with more, but still a very, very good run. Okay, so Doge moving on to the last phase of the Bowser fight. Just got to dodge that very dangerous fire, which has a very small hitbox. As CheeseJamez starts into the last kingdom of Doge taking to backflip over it. Oh, doesn't quite get it, so he will lose a bit of time there, but he should still be okay at this point. James getting nice jumps over, ensuring he doesn't hit that spiky, spinny thing of death, and gets the first fire flower and the second one. Very nice. Doge coming up to the escape now, the final bit of the run. Going to roll down here, capture Bowser. Okay, CheeseJamez landing on this Sphinx very nicely. Gets Moon Cave skip first time, so we will save a little bit of time there. Not sure what Doge is firing at, but fire them fireballs. Doge can't PB now. I don't know how long ago you said that. His PB's just gone. He's got a 102.58. He broke the British curse because the rest of us have 103s. How's the fight now? Not doing the spin through method, making sure he gets that first hit in without losing time. Doge completing 2D skip. Getting through the 2D section with no issues. And just breaking down these final 2 walls before the pillars. So get your guesses in for Doge's final time. And if you get it right, you win absolutely nothing. So CheeseJamez coming up now to the second part of the Bowser fight. Getting the cap nicely as Doge goes for the first few shots. Look like they may have gone wide. Making sure he gets that one down so he doesn't have to deal with pillar. As CheeseJamez comes into the third and final phase of this Bowser. Doge getting that pillar down entirely with fireballs. What a lovely time to be alive. part of the run. The final phase of the Bowser fight. Very nice. Gets the Doge breaks open the mystery cube. And he finishes with 46. Would have been a bit sooner, but he decided to be a clown. How dare you? I don't believe we'll have an interview from Doge, as he does not use a mic. Unless he wants to type in chat, I could ask him things through there. So Doge with a very nice run as CheeseJamez is coming through his escape. Wasn't actually too far away from his PB for a lot of that run, I believe. Sort of fell away towards the end. CheeseJamez will interview. Fantastic. Well, CheeseJamez is finishing up. Doge, how did that run go? And I can already guess what you're going to say. You're going to say CheeseJamez coming through the 2D section with no problems. Oh! Okay. Okay. That was my... CheeseJamez coming through the 2D section with a few problems. He's going to make his way back there now. Okay, so CheeseJamez coming up to the 2D section for the first time. He's going to make his way into the pipe for the first time. He's coming up to 2D skip for the first time. He gets it. Fantastic. XD skip. And out of the 2D section for the first time. So he's going to break down these final two walls before coming into the pillow room that Doge finished a short while ago. So let's see how he does this one. So getting a good angle on that pillar. Got a few good shots off there. Going over to that second pillar. Getting that one down. Taking a few more shots at that pillar. Go down. And third pillar. Gets that one. And now he's on to the last one and the final part of this race. So he's coming out of here with a 108, which all things considered with a 3-day break from the game and coming back in with the first run is pretty good to be that close to of that run.
Hello.
I'm just going to turn that down so it doesn't pick up on my microphone. So, how do you feel that run went for you?
It was good. It was Metro and I choked. I just got screwed up. I was not paying enough attention, and I didn't. And I messed up the first jump.
I mean, good Porsche.
I've been playing the game, so I'm getting in other categories. I haven't touched any percent.
Yeah.
So just feeling the burnout. I got my goal of 105, and I just don't have motivation to really continue the category for
feels. But yeah, it was a very, very good for the first half. You're very, very close.
Yeah, I was on PB pace. Definitely out of Cloud. and then it kind of fell apart. I had a really, really good day at Metro. Snow went really well. There was no other than like me missing the Goomba and Goomba Room, but that probably cost like 4 seconds.
So yeah,
Seaside, I missed the 2 points, but not a big deal. What else? Luncheon was really solid. I missed the lever like a couple times, but that was really it. Bowser's was great. Hopper for the first time in like probably 6 months.
yeah,
I don't really.
it's not hard.
It's usually Harriet. Harriet's usually the hard one for me, and I messed up Harriet. But I didn't expect to mess up Hopper. That's why I messed it up twice, because I didn't expect to mess it up, and it's been up. So
yeah, so give you a bit of a shock.
Yeah. And then it was good. Other than the deaths, but that was just for me going for XD skip.
It was a very solid. I know
That definitely would have been a low 107 without the XD skip fail.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very, very, very entertaining. But it's very good. So well done on that.
Yeah, I'm really happy I was able to keep up with Doge out of Wooded. I was not expecting to be ahead out of Wooded at all.
Yeah. I think both of you missed nut clip, didn't you? So that kept.
Yeah, I don't go for nut clip, so whatever.
Nut clip.
A lot of fun.
Yes. So we are gonna. It is door against. Is it leave? So another good race coming up. So thanks to everyone for watching, and thanks to the runners for a very entertaining. And see you in a minute.
See ya.